So, last Saturday, my friend Dave called me in a panic. Now, Dave is the kind of guy who once accidentally RSVP'd yes to a silent yoga retreat just because he thought it was a new brunch spot. So when he said, "Dude, I need your help. I think I'm in trouble," I assumed he'd finally gotten stuck in his own hoodie again. But no, this time it was different. He'd somehow signed up for what he thought was a knit and sip wine night, but it turned out to be the regional qualifying round for the National Knitting Marathon. As in, competitive speed knitting. Naturally, I did what any good friend would do. I showed up to support him, armed with a camera and the promise that I'd only turn his suffering into a meme if he ended up on the news. The event was held in the rec center gym, and let me tell you, I've never seen so many furious grandmas in one place. These women weren't just knitting, they were waging textile warfare. Yarn was flying, needles were clacking, and the smell of menthol ointment was so thick, I think I gotta contact Bengay High. Dave, who up until this point thought Pearl was just a typo for Pearl, was seated between two knitters who looked like they could fashion a full winter wardrobe before he'd even figured out how to cast on. To his credit, Dave tried to fake his way through it by watching YouTube tutorials under the table, but every time he dropped a stitch, one of the grandmas would glare at him with the kind of disappointment usually reserved for people who microwave fish in the office. By hour 2, his scarf looked more like a deflated snake, and he'd managed to tangle himself so thoroughly in his own yarn that someone had to cut him loose. By the end, Dave was exhausted, sweating, and surrounded by a pile of what can only be described as wool and roadkill. But I have to hand it to him, when the judge asked why he kept going, he just shrugged and said, "Well, I figured I'd try to string together a victory."